Hi-Crush is the premier low-cost domestic producer and distributor of premium Northern White raw sand, a specialized mineral used to enhance the recovery rates of hydrocarbons from oil and gas wells. Hi-Crush Northern White sand is of the highest quality and comes with superior crush strength combined with superior value. Welcome to our production facility in Augusta, Wisconsin. The mining process begins in the hills that form the face of our mine. At Augusta, we use blasting to loosen the material for excavation. After blasting, an excavator loads the material into a truck. A third-party contractor performs the excavation at a fixed rate per ton of sand excavated. To reduce traffic congestion in the mine, we drive only 3 of these 40-ton trucks at our facility. In addition, it is critically important to consider the communities where we operate. So we have a no trucking policy here at Augusta, meaning that we don't use trucks on local roads and highways, only within our facility. Hi-Crush is the low-cost producer in the frac sand industry because of our technology, superior workforce, and the knowledge gained from building multiple facilities. Our people have been involved in more than 20 frac sand processing projects. We apply this knowledge to our production, operations, logistics, and distribution business. The knowledge that we apply to our state-of-the-art facilities and manufacturing process alone saves us at least $2 to $4 per ton. Once the material leaves the mining location, the truck drives onto a scale to be weighed. The scale automatically generates a ticket that is stored in our system. In addition, the driver logs the readings manually. This process helps us verify volumes and maintain cost controls at the facility. Next, the truck goes to the drive-over hopper, which can hold 1.5 truckloads of material. This equates to roughly 65 tons of material that we can store in the hopper at one time. After dumping the material into the hopper, the sand drops onto a conveyor belt that carries it to the plant. This conveyor is designed to carry 700 to 1,000 tons of material per hour. The next step is the primary screening of the sand. The conveyor belt is equipped with a scale that automatically speeds up or slows down the material feed based on average readings on our screeners. Too much material can flatten out the screen, and we run the conveyors on a closed-loop system in the plant. All of the oversized material falls off the end of the screen into a crusher. It is important to feed the precise amount of material into the crusher to minimize our maintenance costs on this machine. All of the material that goes through the screen is stockpiled in the live load tunnel. Once material is stored in the live load tunnel, it is automatically fed into the wet plant. This plant is designed to process 600 tons an hour, but we typically run it from 650 to 750 tons an hour, which is a tribute to the operational team in these facilities. Our plants require highly repeatable processes, unlike the batch processing of the past. When we started working in the sand industry, it was a very low-margin business, much different than it is today. We took the knowledge gained in other industries and worked with multiple manufacturers to redesign their equipment to specifically tailor it for our needs in the frac sand business. We wrote new algorithms, changed equipment design, and in some cases changed entire processes or equipment used in these facilities, which makes the facility much more efficient. As the material leaves the washing system, it goes into our secondary screening system, which makes a 12-mesh cut. Everything going through that screen is slurry from the bottom side of the screen into our hydraulic separation unit. Here we make a -12 to +70 mesh cut. The product goes to the bottom of the separation unit and to the dewatering screen, where we dewater the material to less than 12% moisture and then send it to our drying facility. All the material that flows over the weirs is separated by the ultra-fines recovery system and put into our stockpile. We use this material for reclamation. The conveyor system runs 1.25 miles from the wet plant to the dry plant. Once material reaches the dry plant, 2 190-foot stackers stockpile it. These stackers are capable of placing 1.5 million tons of wet work in process inventory. When we shut the wet plant down, we target having 900,000 to 1 million tons of material and wet work in process inventory in our Augusta facility. Most of this inventory will be processed and delivered to our customers by the time the wet plant starts up again in the spring. Another reason that Hi-Crush is the low-cost leader in our industry is the quality of our reserves. Most of our reserves lay below just a few feet of topsoil that has been naturally washed by glaciers, reducing our excavation and washing costs. Also, an underground draining system reduces the moisture content of the work-in-process material from 7 to 9% to 2 to 4% within 24 hours during the normal spring, fall, and summer months. The less water we have to remove from the material directly equates to driving down our costs. The natural gas usage in our facility is critical in this aspect. Next, the material is fed by front-end loader into this building through 2 feed hoppers. These belts are controlled by variable frequency drives to speed up or slow down as needed. It is a completely automated system. The fluid bed drying technology is used at all of our facilities. The old rail rotary dryers required much more ignition and therefore much more energy and natural gas than the new technology. These dryers are very solid pieces of equipment. Operating fluid bed dryers saves money on natural gas and overall production costs. Once the material is extracted, we dry the material down to 0.3% moisture. The dryness of the sand is critical in any kind of screening application. We transport it by a conveyor into a surge hopper. The surge hopper empties onto a weigh belt in our facility. This is a critical piece of equipment at the plant. Once the material is separated into 20/40, 30/50, 40/70, and 100 mesh frac sizes, we sample the material. We take samples a minimum of 1 time every hour, but typically we take samples 3 times each hour. The material is split several times and then run through the laser particle analyzer. This equipment eliminates human error from the testing process. In addition, we have the capability in this facility to run solubility and crush strength tests in-house. Once these tests are complete, copies of the results are kept in the lab and in our main office for at least 6 months. After screening, we transport the material to storage silos. We have 16,000 tons of storage capacity on site. Once the material is sorted into these silos, it is loaded into rail cars using downspouts. These downspouts attach to the top of the rail car and seal it off completely. We also use an integral filter to maintain the best dust control technology in the industry, which reduces sand dust by 99.99%, a very efficient control. Safety is a priority at Hi-Crush. It is critical to maintain a safe work environment for our employees and the communities that we operate in. As you have just seen, Hi-Crush has applied its knowledge base to existing equipment and operations to create proprietary state-of-the-art processing facilities, combined with our premium Northern White sand reserves and an unrivaled and superior workforce. Hi-Crush truly embodies performance under pressure.